I thought transphobia was a hoax until I experienced the real thing firsthand. Here's my story. Despite living the first 43 years of my life as a man, I bravely began my transition to womanhood just days before the 2021 Olympic women's soccer trials. The competition was stiff, and I was nervous, but I stayed focused and played hard. After the third injured girl was carried off the field, I was issued a final warning for overuse of the slide tackle. I couldn't help but wonder, was there another reason I'd been singled out? In the underdog story of the year, and despite having never previously competed in sports, I made the team. In fact, I would enter the roster as starting forward, playing alongside the greatest female athletes in the world. There could be only one explanation for my emerging superpowers. I was finally living as my true self. I could feel the shared pride among my new teammates. This was a staggering achievement for our gender. The Olympic glass ceiling was about to be shattered by a pair of size 14 wide soccer cleats. Though not everyone was in a celebratory mood. After tryouts, the atmosphere in the showers was downright hostile. Clearly, some of the ladies who didn't make the team were feeling bitter and resentful. I ignored their sideways glances as I lathered up, but for the first time in my life, I understood what it was to be marginalized. By the time we arrived in Tokyo, tensions among the team were high. Team captain Megan Rapinoe was not the friendly, unifying force she appeared to be on TV. Behind the scenes, team cohesion had collapsed as we broke apart into separate ideological factions. I tried to unite us, reminding the ladies that we were all fighting against the same gender pay gap as we strive to be recognized as equals to our oppressive male counterparts. But my inspiring pleas fell on deaf ears. My roommate, goalkeeper Alyssa Nair, was nothing but attitude. I don't know who told her I was obligated to give her the top bunk, but I had feminine needs too. One morning, in the communal ladies' washroom, I suggested to Megan we soften our public image and scale back the political statements. She eyeballed my protective cup, gave me a dirty look, and grumbled, "World Cup champions don't take advice from walk-ons." As I groomed my goatee, I informed Megan her attitude was quite unladylike. She flared up like a pink-haired yeast infection. I had a feeling our press conference later that morning would not go smoothly. The sports media community didn't give me the hero's welcome I expected. I was ambushed by agenda-driven journalists who claimed a nearly 300-pound competitor had an unfair advantage. Others labeled me an attention seeker whose antics could set gender equality back decades. Bob Costas joked that my elevated levels of testosterone may indicate steroid use, a blatantly misogynistic attack on my hormonal autonomy. All this despite the fact I had survived breast cancer and 3 undocumented miscarriages. After all I'd overcome during my transition process, the last thing I needed was mansplaining. If these patriarchs couldn't accept me for who I was, I had nothing left to say to them. Finally, the big day of our opening match against Sweden had arrived. The American flag flew proudly above as the Star-Spangled Banner began to echo through the arena. As expected, several of my teammates took a knee in protest. Someone had to stand up for the stars and stripes, so I did the only thing a patriotic American girl could do. I teabagged Megan Rapinoe. She was outraged, but no Olympic team I was a member of was going to humiliate the United States on the world stage. The Tokyo police unfairly targeted me and removed me from the stadium. My dream of standing on the podium at the medal ceremony had been destroyed. Transphobia had ruined another soccer match. In an act of unspeakable violence, NBC deliberately misgendered me by claiming their entire global audience had seen my junk on Megan Rapinoe's forehead. This was the most egregious Olympics human rights violation I'd witnessed in several hours. My behavior at my Summer Olympics debut has raised questions about my mental fitness. Some claim the pressures of high-level competition were clearly too much for me. My teammates have stated they feel unsafe, and whispers of a permanent ban from the games have unfortunately grown louder. This traumatic lived experience has forced me to look inward, and after much contemplation, I've decided to transition again. That's why moving forward, I'm identifying as mentally disabled, and I'm honored to announce I'll be competing in the 2022 Special Olympics. I look forward to joining my fellow retarded athletes as we raise awareness for a variety of retarded issues. I can't wait to get back out on the soccer field, and with a competitor pool comprised mostly of pudgy women with Down syndrome, I like my chances. Ladies and gentlemen, do I sound like someone who should be left to fend for himself? If ever a Jerry's kid needed a telethon, it's me. You can sponsor Patrick Eberly for less than the price of a cup of coffee per month at my Patreon page. Link in the description below. Thank you.